Shalom, shalom, sisters. I'm back at it with another video. Just going over how to stay focused in this truth, something that I've been personally dealing with as well. And I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh Shai. And we're going to jump right into it. And of course, as usual, I'm talking to the sisters. And my first precept is going to be Colossians chapter 2. Colossians chapter 2, verse 6, and I'm going to go to 8. And it reads, as ye have therefore received Mashiach Yahweh Shai, the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith, as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Mashiach. So boom, shalom. We got to stay focused in this thing. So we got to stay rooted. We got to figure out ways to stay rooted in this truth, to build up our spirits in Yahweh Shai ultimately. And we stay focused by, just always, constantly meditating upon the word, thinking of ways we could be better, self-examining, fasting, praying, just always abounding in the works of the Lord. So in this precept, it's saying we got to be rooted in this thing. We got to be rooted, and we got to make sure that we're rooted in a solid foundation. We don't want to be in that, that sandy, that unstable foundation, or else we're going to be overthrown. We're going to be overthrown out of this truth, and we don't want that. We want to attain the kingdom. So, we got to go hard. We got to stay focused as much as possible in this truth, because Satan's going to come with all types of distractions, anything to keep our minds off of the Lord, get us back into the world and wickedness, all types of stuff. So then that brings me to my next precept. All praise to the Most High. The next precept is Colossians chapter 3, and it's verse 2. And it reads, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. So boom, we got to set our affection on things above, boom. Okay, I'm trying to get this kingdom, I know I got to be a woman in this truth. I can't say stuff like that. I can't be looking at this type of stuff for too long. I can't pay attention to any folly because, I don't want to be, you cleave to your light. So you don't want to be, always occupied, always focused on folly, madness, worldly things. We want to set our affection, our love, our time, everything on things above, the heaven. We want to be, setting our affection on the kingdom, things that are coming ahead of us, not looking back like Lot's wife. We want to think of things that are above, not things on this worldly earth that will be destroyed very, very soon. We're too close to my words are just jumbling up, but we're too close to all hell breaking loose, and we ain't got time to be in folly and vanity. So we just gotta make sure that we're not paying so much attention to all these distractions like social media and just the endless scrolling and just anything, not even just social media, just unprofitable things that aren't gonna help us get to where we're trying to go. So my next precept is going to be Proverbs, if I can get there. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 25. And it reads, let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. So boom. Right there, we gotta make sure that our eyes are focused, our eyes are straight on the prize. Boom, I don't know why I keep saying boom, but we want to keep our eyes straight ahead. We want to be on that straight and narrow path, following Yahweh Shai, following and hunger and thirsting for righteousness. At the end of the day, we don't want to stray off to the left side, which is the water, or the right side, which is the fire. So we got to make sure, we keep our eyes looking straight on. We're not trying to look back, seeing what we did with the old sister used to hang out with in the world. None of that. We're not trying to look back at that. We're trying to look straight ahead, straight ahead of what we have to come. Because the Lord wants us to obtain the kingdom. It's his great desire to. But we got to do our thing. We got to do our part. to be as righteous as possible so we can obtain that. Nothing comes easy in this truth. And we know that. And I'm gonna get Matthew real quick. The classic, Matthew 6 and 33. And it reads, the book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 33. It reads, but seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. So boom, we gotta be, I keep saying boom, I don't know why I keep saying boom. But we gotta make sure that, we're really focusing on the kingdom. Focusing on the great things that are going to be happening in the kingdom. Really just sitting and meditating on, dang, like, the kingdom's really going to be all that and more than a bag of chips. Like, we got to be really sitting and meditating on the kingdom's going to be something that no man could even ever begin to fathom. Nothing is greater than the kingdom of Yahweh Shai. So we got to seek that first before, we can, get the things that we want in this world. All this is vanity, but before you want to get, that better job or, even spiritual things, be better at, not procrastinating, being a better wife, being a better sister, all praise to the Most High. I just dropped that Kaya and, fun facts, our mind can't even wrap around the kingdom. 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. I'm going to get that real quick. But this is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. It reads, but as it is written, eyes have not seen, nor ears have heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh hath prepared for them that love him. So there you go. That's plain. So we can't even fathom, eyes haven't even seen, ears haven't even heard the things that the Lord has prepared for us. We just got to do our part and stay focused as much as possible and not mind these silly distractions that Satan puts in our path to knock us off from getting away, knock us off from getting the kingdom. And I'm going to get Psalms. I'm going to get the book of Psalms, chapter 1. Real quick. Hold on. Okay. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 2. And it reads, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So boom. Dang, I keep saying boom. But it's plain. That's plain. We got to be meditating in the law. Like, the best way we can be focused in this truth is to just truly just keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it, like, dang, like, if I mess up doing this, like, everything is going to be taken into account. I got to be giving alms, I got to reverence my husband, I got to love my sister, I got to be reading like I should, we got to be thinking about all these things. We have to have delight in the law of the Lord. Delight in the law of the Lord, because then we know that we're blessed, then we know that the Lord is dealing with us, Most High willing, and, we'll be that tree that's ultimately rooted. Just going back to Colossians chapter 2, talking about being rooted and being built up in this thing. We want to be rooted and built up in this thing. So we got to be just like that tree that David was talking about in Psalms 1. We got to be that tree that's planted and rooted, is being watered with the living waters of Yahweh Shai. And we know that these right here, this is the living waters. This is the living water. So we got to make sure that, we're feeding our spirit, and we're making sure that we're not withering away in this thing. And we wither away when we're not focused on the Lord and focusing on this truth ultimately, and focusing on being better women in this thing so we can obtain the kingdom. And I'm gonna get Salaki, y'all. I just heard some weird stuff. I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna get the book of Romans chapter 8 and verse 5. It reads, For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. So, if we're always focusing on things that are not of the Spirit, not of Yahweh, we're thinking about, this party this weekend, and we thinking about, talking back to our husbands when he pisses us off, excuse my language, but all types of things that are of the flesh, reacting when we shouldn't be reacting, overthinking, about madness, thinking about stuff that we're not even supposed to be thinking about. Not paying attention to the Spirit, things that are of the Spirit, meditating upon these laws and statutes and commandments we're supposed to be following, meditating on how can I better serve my king, how can I better serve my sister, just things like that. That's how we stay focused. We stay focused by, how can I be better than I was yesterday? We gotta continuously occupy our minds with righteousness. Because as soon as we relax and we get too comfortable, then the wickedness and stuff of the flesh, things of the flesh start seeping in, and that's where we get messed up at. Hold on. Once you forget why you're in this truth and lose focus while you're in this truth, you start to slip away. And I was just speaking on this topic some days ago. All praise the Most High. All praise the Most High, man. I'm telling you, as soon as you start, thinking about, what I used to do, this and that, or whatever the case may be, things that are just not of the Lord, you immediately you're opening that door for Satan to come in and further distract you, further and further and further. Next thing you know, you're gone, too far gone, and we don't want that to happen. So it's imperative that we stay focused as much as we can. Just stay in the Spirit, because we're almost out of here, y'all. We're almost out of here, but we gotta keep on keeping on. I'm telling you, this is the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. And it reads, "Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things." So I like that precept just because, I thought it was mighty. Like, that's things that we need to be thinking on. That's things I need to be thinking on. Things that are good, virtue, full of virtue, and holy, lovely, pure. All those things are what is in here. So that's what we need to be focused on at the end of the day. Things in this world ain't pure. Ain't nothing pure about this world. Nothing. Can't name me one thing in this world that's pure. Because all madness is all folly and vanity. It's all distraction at the end of the day. So whatever things that are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, and are of good report, according to Yahweh, not according to this world, because this world will tell you something's good, but it's really evil. And the Lord says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil. So we got to think upon those things, and that's another way that we can stay focused, is always thinking about those good things that are pure, things that are just. And I'm going to get Matthew 6:24. Come on. That's too far. Read the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24. Excuse me. And it reads, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon." So this can be multiple situations. This could be, this truth, serving the Most High God, and, work. Work can also be a God. A lot of people, they go and they just go hard for work. They go harder for, work and trying to be on time and trying to be the best associate and all of this. But you're not trying to do that same thing for Yahweh Shai. That's all. So as sisters, we need to make sure that we're not serving two masters in this thing. And Satan, he can be crafty and slick, and he'll do anything to try to be, real slick and sly. You won't even notice it. But you're treating whatever it is, whether it's school, work, another person, that's not Yahweh Shai, and you're holding them above the Lord and serving them instead of serving Yahweh Shai, you're through. You're through. You can't serve two masters. You'll love one and then hate the other. So we gotta make sure we're staying focused and having that just balance when it comes to everything, really. But ultimately, again, being focused in this thing. I'm gonna get First Corinthians. I was debating on if I was gonna bring this out, but I don't know if I'm gonna bring it out anymore. But I know I want to bring this one out. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. And this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 3. And it reads, "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established." So a lot of the times, I know sisters, they deal with, wicked thoughts. And that's how mostly I think we be going wrong at, because we get so caught up in our thoughts and we get distracted that way. Thinking about, overthinking on situations, or thinking about past stuff we did, or just thinking about random stuff that seems just like to pop in our minds. And we got to make sure that in order to deal away with that, obviously after praying and fasting on it, is to meditate on the script and ultimately commit our works to Yahweh Shai. So if we commit our works to the Lord, we're trying to work with our hands more, reverence our kings more, doing the works of a woman is true, then ultimately our thoughts will be established. Our thoughts will be, how can I be better as a woman in this truth? How can I serve the Lord better? How can I be a vessel to my sisters in this truth and in the world, and et cetera, et cetera. So Proverbs chapter 2. I'm going to start at 2. I'm going to start at 2. This is Proverbs chapter 2, verse 2, and it reads, "So that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart unto understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear of the Lord, and find the knowledge of Yahweh." So these is literally the building blocks. It's really beautiful because Yahweh Shai really just sets everything in here for us. Everything that we need to be focused on is in here. So we need to be crying out for knowledge, crying out for understanding, crying out for that wisdom from Yahweh Shai. And we know that's the only way we can get wisdom is from him. And we got to incline our ears unto wisdom. We got to constantly fill our ears with wisdom, whether it's, listening to somebody bring it out, whether it's another sister, whether it's your king, if you're watching a camp, if you're into that, always inclining our ears unto hearing the words of the Lord, because that's how we can stay focused. Because if we're always, listening to music and, we're always scrolling on social media, whatever. I know you know this. If you on social media for a while, you start hearing the same little audios they be playing, the same little songs, and then boom, next thing you know, it's stuck in your head. And dang, how does this even get stuck in my head? I don't even listen to this. But it's the things that your ears are hearing, because it's saying I'm telling you, he's slick, and he's sly. So that's why we got to make sure that we're mindful of these distractions that are placed to throw us off our path. And as long as we are trying to incline our ear into wisdom, apply our hearts to understanding, and just, again, like I said, searching for that wisdom as it's a hidden treasure, because it is a hidden treasure, and everybody don't have wisdom on this earth, and we see that, in all of our people, for real. So I thought that was my precept, but I'm gonna get verse 17 too. Do I want to start at 17? I'm gonna start at 17. Same chapter 2, verse 17. "Which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life, that thou mayest walk in the way of good men, and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. So there's that root word again, rooted. So there's the wicked women, because we're talking to sisters. The wicked women, they're going to be uprooted like some weeds. If you know anything about grass, probably not because we're sisters, but they take up the weeds, they pull them up out of the ground. And that's how the Lord is going to do women that is not really rooted in this truth. They don't want to read, they don't want to study, they don't want to rebuke these wicked thoughts that we have. We don't want to tame our mouths, watch what we say. We don't want to do the works of the Lord. We don't want to do anything that has to do with Yahweh Shem Shai. And we're going to be rooted up, because the Lord's not dealing with transgressors, and we know that. Oh my gosh. Sorry, y'all. I didn't know I hurt my elbow. I got like a scab on my elbow. But, it's like here. But come on, we can't forsake the guide we can't forsake the guide, which is Yahweh Shem Shai, because he's ultimately our guide in this walk. He's the one that we're following after. He's the one that we're, trying to serve and please in this thing. So we got to make sure that we don't forsake Yahweh Shem Shai, because he's never forsaken us. He brought us out of darkness. We're in this truth. He had mercy upon us, and still continues to have mercy upon us day by day. So how much more for us to stay focused in this truth, to try our best to stay focused, and try our best not to let our house be inclined unto death. Because ultimately, when we're not focused, we incline our house unto death. Because even as women, we set the tone for our household. So we're not focused. We're not, okay, let me read today. Let me make sure we fast this week, whatever. Let me make sure I got the house clean for my household. Teaching the women, teaching the kids, whatever the case may be. You're going to incline your house unto death. And then boom. Now everything is going to crap, and it's just, you just let's say win at the end of the day. And we're not going for that. We're not going for that. So we got to make sure that we stay focused as much as possible, because as soon as we lose focus, that's when Satan comes in and he tries to throw us out. And if we get thrown out of this truth, 9 times out of 10, you're not coming back in this thing. So really, this is our one last chance. Like, this is our only chance to get it right. So why not be focused? Why not have that zeal and that drive to serve the Lord as much as you can? Fight as much as you can until the end. Strive for this truth unto death. That's Sirach 4:28. So, Satan be waiting. So we got to make sure that we keep in mind, like we keep these precepts in the back of our mind, the forefront of our mind, really, and just know that, hey, the upright is going to dwell in the land, and that land is the kingdom. That's where we want to be. We want to be the upright, living in the kingdom, living good, not worrying about pain, being sick, our backs hurting, having to go to work, having to go to school, whatever the case may be, stressing, struggling, all that. We won't have to worry about that. If we're being upright, then we'll dwell in the land. But the transgressors, we're going to be rooted up, pulled up out the grass like some weeds, and thrown away. And we don't want that. So I'm going to get one more, and then I'm going to close out. Nothing too long. Just wanted to do a quick little lesson. This is the last one. Another thing for us to stay focused, the classic 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So there we have it. We got to study to show ourselves approved in this thing. Study to show ourselves approved unto Yahweh Shem Shai. Not study to impress man, impress another sister, whatever the case may be. We're not doing it for vainglory. We're studying, we're in these precepts day after day, reading, this many chapters, that many chapters, writing these lessons for sisters, sending messages out, whatever the case may be. We're doing this for the Lord. Ultimately, of course, to help our sisters too. And, I was gonna say your kings too, if you have kings. But we're doing this for the Lord. Everything that we do is for the Lord. Colossians 3:17. Make sure we're studying to show ourselves approved, staying focused on this truth as much as possible. Satan does not want us to get the kingdom, but we got to stay focused because this might be our one and only chance to obtain the kingdom. We can't take it for granted. The Lord has brought us out of darkness, so call Yahweh Hashem Mashakom Yahushai, the water, for his mercy and grace. Lord willing, we continue to go hard. And I pray, Lord willing, you sisters endure to the end. Hit me up if you need me. I love y'all. Shalom, shalom.